Hello, and welcome to the Light Institute of Galisteo Sunday Meditation. And we do this at the Sanctuary of Light. For those of you that are joining us for this meditation the first time, there's a way that we do it here together. We divide the meditation into 3 parts. In the first part, we ask our divine higher self, the intuitive essence of your soul, your own inner voice, to take a form for you so that you can align to that energy. Any form that it takes is messaging to you qualities and energies that would serve you and support you at that moment. So it could be any kind of form at all. And then I'll make a little and when I do that, you can push the pause button on your computer so that you can sit in meditation for as long as you like. And then when you push that button again, the second part of the meditation is my favorite part. It's where we reach up into the cosmos and draw down a beautiful beam of white light down through the top of your head, down into your stomach, your solar plexus. This is the seat, the center of the emotional body. So we bring that white light through that to quicken it, to allow it to lift up. And then we radiate it out from us. As we radiate it out, we're stretching out our auric field and our presence as well as our purpose into the world. So again, you can just allow that to continue to flow into you and through you. And then the third part of the meditation, again, there will be an Om when I'm done explaining that. And you can do that for as long as you wish. In the third part of the meditation, each week, we pick a situation or something that's happening around the world so that our meditation can include the power to be participating in our world, to give the gifts of our consciousness, our love, and our healing energies. This week, that theme is about the droughts on the planet. And I would ask you to start where I am in Galisteo, New Mexico, because we're having a terrible drought. And I know that human consciousness can make a difference. I have seen this for years and years and years. So you will just imagine in your mind's eye that you are sitting, that you're here with me in Galisteo, and that you are calling the rain down, and that you are perceiving that you could, as if you could smell the rain or hear the rain, and it's raining all around. Then you can allow that to expand out to all of New Mexico. And then anywhere that comes into your consciousness where there's a drought. There are droughts everywhere. And at the same time, there are places that are inundated with water and rains, and people are suffering. So one of the things that you can do in your consciousness is that you can go to one of those places that have excess rain and simply direct it to wherever you want, to a desert, to any country, again to New Mexico, to anywhere that you are aware of that has a drought. And this will make a difference. So please do that. And one of the things that happens when we call the rain, the Hopis in Arizona have been calling the rain for 5,000 years. When you call the rain, you want to continue holding that in your consciousness until you perceive that it is raining somewhere. And so you could write the word rain down, put it in your pocket, or have it around you so that it helps you to meditate on that, to visualize that, to again hear it or smell that rain. Because if you do that and then direct it with your consciousness wherever you want to direct it, it will happen. So, and let's begin. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale through your mouth very slowly. This will slow down your brain into meditative states. Exhale slowly. And once again, breathe in through your nose and exhale slowly. Ask your higher self, the intuitive essence of your soul, your own inner voice, to take a form for you so that you can connect to it, align to that energy. It could be a tree, a being, a star, an animal, an equation. Just ask it to take form for you now. And take the first form that pops into your consciousness. Ask your higher self to touch your body where you hold your divine source, your divine essence. And just imagine anywhere in your body that there's a touch there. And then breathe in through that touch and feel as if as you breathe in, you are connecting to your higher self. It's with you. It's influencing you. It's loving and protecting and teaching you. So breathe into that place and that touch. And now draw your higher self into your body and sit in meditation as your higher self. Om. Take a deep breath into your body and reach up with your consciousness into the cosmos and pull down a beam of white light down through the top of your head, down into your stomach, your solar plexus, and from there beam that laser beam of white light out from you. You might imagine that it's flooding the planet, that it's crossing the planet, and then moves back into the sky and up into the cosmos, and then you breathe in and you pull it back down, you exhale and you extend it out, knowing that as you extend it out, you yourself are becoming a vehicle of light. And that as you extend that light from you, you're giving a gift which allows you to begin to access your true and deep purpose of life. Om. Breathe deeply into your body and bring your conscious awareness, your imagination, into this place, into this beautiful sphere of meditation with me, into Galisteo, New Mexico. And call the rain down. Just imagine that you are perceiving or sensing rain clouds, and as the rain is coming down and the earth is calling it down, the earth is reaching up and calling that rain down, gentle but strong, deeply, deeply raining, raining, raining into the earth of the high desert of New Mexico. And then just imagine that that rain cloud begins to spread over the whole state of New Mexico. Feel it raining down. And then your higher self may show you places around the planet that need rain, that are in drought. Might be Australia. Might be somewhere in the deserts of the East. Might be more places in the United States and Americas. And just feel as if you're calling the rain to those places, and you can feel the joy of the earth and the life forms celebrating that rain, which brings forward new life. And now, just imagine in your mind's eye any place on the planet that has been receiving too much rain, water that is disturbing the balance. And again, with your consciousness, call from that place that excess energy of rain. The rain is a conscious entity. It loves to rain. So call forth that rain and superimpose it into all of the places of drought. And feel as you pull that rain from its excess and invite it into the places that are needing the rain, that you are a part of nature's balance. You are supporting nature. Do it now. Raining, raining, the smell of rain, the sound of rain, the sight of rain. And continue that for as long as you wish. Take a deep breath into your body, feeling the power of meditation, power of your consciousness, and to open your eyes. Thank you for that. And especially thank you for here, for Galisteo, for New Mexico, for bringing us the rain. There's a second part to this meditation, and that is called knowings. People from around the world send questions that are dear to their hearts, and we converse about those questions in order to uplift ourselves and everyone who is participating. So if you have one, just send that to the Light Institute of Galisteo. Now Allison will read to me the questions that have come for this week. Allison.
The first question is from Israel.
Israel.
Dear Chris, in the grand scheme of things, is it right to personally police others and lecture them on behaviors we ourselves see as unacceptable? Or is this just self-righteous judgment that we are inflicting on others?
Oh, I love that question. That is something that is so important on all levels, everywhere on the planet, in all cultures. Well, we do have that Judeo-Christic ethic of self-righteousness that says we know what is right, we don't know what is good. And if we impose that on others, then that kind of policing will probably not bring the harmony or the oneness, the connecting energy that we need on the planet at this time, because we are all one soul group. So we play different roles for each other. So those people or those cultures or those individuals that are bothering you with their behavior, think of it this way in terms of spiritual purpose. They may be doing that to help you to clear away self-righteousness, or to realize that there are many ways to speak your truth, to communicate to others that this is harmful, or that it doesn't bring love to them, or it creates separation, or it hurts your feelings. There are 1,000 ways to personally say something that doesn't put you above them. I'm the good guy and you're the bad guy. But rather that says, you and I are here together. You can confirm. I always find it's very important to speak about something you like, or to look at something that you like about a person and mirror that to them. You might say something like, I think you're such a sensitive or wonderful person. But when you do this, it makes me draw back, and I want to be your friend. So is that okay? Can we find a way to be together? There are 1,000 ways that you could speak from your heart. At the Light Institute, we talk about piercing the heart. And that means that we see somebody, not just by what they're doing, but we look to see their soul energy. We pierce the heart of someone so that we recognize that what they're doing is not the whole story. And there may be reasons for that, terrible, sad experiences they've had. That's not an excuse. But nor are we their keepers in that way. We are each other's keepers in terms of upholding, uplifting each other, taking care of each other, joining with each other, and looking for the qualities that another person has and bringing them forward. The more powerful you are, the more powerful I am. These are the ways out of that policing, because we are finding around the world that our form of policing only creates disharmony and sorrow. So we want to flip to the other side and find a way to encourage people to want to show their best selves, but they may not feel that they have a best self. And that's why it's so wonderful when you can find something that you love in them or that you admire in them and speak of that. If you do that, they will begin, because this is human nature, they will begin to do it again and again and again. Great love to you, Israel. Allison.
The second question is from West Virginia in the USA.
Uh-huh.
Chris, I am seeing a definite decline in the mental capacities of many people I know, young and old and in between. I truly think this is due to the lack of social contact. Will you please talk about this? And if you think humanity will ever rebound from the PTSD of pandemic lockdowns?
The PTSD of the pandemic. Remember that humans have been through pandemics in the past that were 3 or 4 times as large. One of them killed about 2/3 of the world's population. So will we go on from that? Yes, we will. Of course we will. Now, it's a little confusing when you say a decline in their mental capacities. I think you mean their mental states, their emotional mental states. So I will see what I can do to address both of these. Our mental capacities do have a link to our emotional energies. If we feel sick or we feel angry, it fuzzes up our thought patterns. It takes away the energy and the excitement of learning. So when we feel down, then we pull away from the adventure of learning, the adventure of touching each other. We are a group animal. It is true that we need social connection, but we must ask ourselves, what is the gift in terms of our mental capacities, our emotional mental capacities, our connections to having some kind of a social energy that is a gift that is being taught to us? In other words, how can we use this situation, this pandemic, rather than having it use us? And so one of the things that I would say are true in terms of a spiritual connection is that we want to learn to use our social connections in deeper ways, in ways that allow us to connect in a profound way, rather than just the external kind of way. And so to do that, we have to begin to feel that we're safe, that we can be happy with just the self, and that the deeper we go in exploring through our consciousness, even through our mind perspective, who we are, the more we will realize that we have something to offer that makes us want to show ourselves in a social arena. And this is very important. One of the things that I am noticing is that people are very responsive. If you go to the store, you're standing in line and you're 6 feet apart with your mask on, our eyes are dancing, our eyes are telling each other everything. And so you can be the instigator. Instead of waiting for some social arrangement to come to you, you be the one that brings it on. Converse with people. This is a place where that mindless chatter, how is the weather, especially using humor, finding some way to smile, always smile at people with your eyes, and so they can feel that you're smiling, and say something positive, and it will uplift them. And when you uplift them, it will uplift you. And you will feel that you have had that social diet that is so necessary to us all. Because it's wonderful to realize that you can now begin to speak to strangers and find something that connects the two of you. Common ground, what you like, what is happening, anything at all that it allows them to come out of their cocoons. Because I do find that in stores people are afraid to look at each other. They don't say anything. They just sort of close down and yes, this is not good for us. Because we are naturally, as a species, gregarious and needing of each other. But we want that needing to turn into something where we can be the source of connection, the source of a social environment. So we can use any kind of conversation, whatever it is, to bring somebody out of their hiding place and bring them back into, you and I, we're here together and it's going to be all right. We are already passing through this. No, we will never go back. But if we have learned how to know the self, if we have learned to appreciate the presence of others and to be caretakers of others and care for them and know that as we do that, they will care for us as well, then what it is to be human, what it is to use the human heart will evolve. And in the end, the purpose of life is the evolution of the soul, this beautiful human spirit, this beautiful human soul. And so I invite you to practice that whenever you go out, and to go out. Everyone is allowed to go to the store. Everyone is allowed to step out a little bit from your home. Everyone is allowed to take a walk one way or another, even if it's limited. I think it's very important to not obsess about, I'm only allowed to do this or this or this, but to use what you are allowed. Remember that ostensibly that is to protect us, to help us to be well, so that we can care for each other and we can go on from this pandemic. It will not last forever, because eventually you and I will begin to feel a strength in our immunity and a strength in our purpose, which will it will be stronger than any virus. Remember that the one disease on this planet is fear. So if we use humor, if we use social connection, we can feel that ourselves belong to a greater whole, and that does not include allowing these diseases to destroy us. Great love to you. Alison, another?
The last question is from Byron Bay, Australia. Dearest Chris, in a recent knowings, I heard you mention something about connecting with interstellar dimensions and interstellar beings. Could you please talk more about interstellar dimensions and beings and how we can connect and work with them?
I talk about them a great deal in my books because we all have galactic DNA, and we could extend that word galactic, not just to our galaxy, to all galaxies, but to also interstellar energies. And so I talk about the fact that we have that kind of DNA that we can activate. And in all of our intensives this year, we have two. One is called Soul Bodies and one is called Universal Destiny, when we're really going to be focusing on how to connect and to work and again, how would you work with them? By recognizing that you have a direct link through your spiritual, your galactic, your higher frequencies, your genetic encodings that belong to the galaxies, that belong to these things. But what I would say initially is to just allow that to be a part of your story. And you could, in your meditations with your higher self, simply say, I want to send energy to interstellar beings who can align with us, who care about humans or planet Earth. And if I can feel that there are these beings, and there are many, many of these beings, then I can imagine them, and what you want to do is to extend the light to them. What frequency of light do they need from you to align to the human genetics, to the dimensions that we are in? And as they align, as we feel that connection back and forth, it will allow us to also begin to remember that we have untold experiences throughout the galaxies, throughout the universes, in which we have traveled in many dimensions. There's nothing stopping you from traveling to dimensions. All you have to do is to imagine it, and to imagine it from a place that says, I want to link up with those that could teach us and what we could give back. It's that simple. So I would hope that around the world people will begin to do this. We have an unsettling thing that's happening, and that is that some governmental forces and others are attempting to amplify the fear that we have of interstellar beings, interstellar consciousness, as if they're all out there waiting to attack us. This is not true. It is not true. But we can discern which of these belong to our story, belong to our evolution. Call them forward and amplify. This is true even amongst humans. If you send out a loving, open, inquisitive, happy energy, you will attract energy that aligns to that. So do not allow anyone to bring that fear to you. It's not useful. Let us all begin to remember that though we have come as humans to planet Earth, we come with genetics and soul experiences that are part of many dimensions, many, many adventures of the soul. Great love to you all.